Okay, good morning. And
Good morning. Good morning,
Tammy and
Julie.
I are happy St. Patrick's Day.
Woo!
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day early. Well, depending when we post this, which probably will be today or tomorrow, to everybody. So hope you're enjoying your day. And yes, Julie's got a cool looking. What did you call that again, Julie?
penne velvet.
NA velvet green top. It's beautiful.
It's
We
kind
love
of
it.
it's kind of an olivey mint green. It's kind of an interesting color, but
Yeah, it's beautiful.
and
It's really
yours is so very Irish, and I just love it. I just love it. You
Thank
look
you. I got my Irish going on today. Got my little shamrock necklace and, I want to show you some beautiful earrings that a very dear friend gave to me, kind
they're
of in
beautiful.
honor of St. Pat. They're green. I don't know if you can see the stone, but I wanted to show those off because it was such a nice gift.
You always look great anyway, Tammy. So
Oh, thank you. So do you, Julie. So do
thank
you.
you. And my goal is really to get to Ireland at some point. I feel such a kinship to it. I just know I've had multiple lifetimes there,
Yeah.
and I have a
It's
ton of Irish music, and it really
So
speaks.
yeah, so you've got, yeah, lifetimes there. I love Ireland. I've been there a couple of times. I definitely want to go back. And the first time I went was in 1984, and I went on it was called well, my maiden name's Foley. That's where the Irish is. Certainly not my last name. That's a married, Polish name. but we went on, it was like anybody across the United States could go on this Foley reunion. Yeah, they have several of them with different names, obviously, that they do. And so I talked my mom into it. And so her and I went that was my first time there back in 84. And oh my gosh, it was great. It took you to all the hot spots, all the must sees.
Well, that's what I
But we
want to
loved it.
do.
We loved it. So it is a good place to go visit for sure. It's a
I
lot of great places, but
It's so funny. I've been feeling so called to go to Hawaii again, which I have. My daughter lives there, and I have many. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in Hawaii, a lot of time in Hawaii because I did a lot of trainings there.
love it. Love
But I
Hawaii. Yeah.
just, I'm like, do I want to go now? In May? Do I want to go in September for my birthday? Do I want to scrap it and save it and go for Ireland or both? I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. It's hard to make a decision, isn't it?
It, it is.
Yeah.
So
Anyhow.
we will come back to all of this, but Tammy and I, we talk just for a moment or two before we hit record each time because we just want to see where we're both at. And I was telling Tammy that I was standing at the sink this morning and I went, oh, okay, we need to go deep today. We need to go deep into where we're at. So, and then Tammy got on the phone. She's like, yeah, I had a question from somebody about the pandemic and about what her guides are saying. And I'm like, here we are.
There we go. Green light, green. It's all about green today. Green light, go. Yeah.
So we are gonna start with that.
Yeah. I can kind of touch on what the question was, if that helps first. So yeah, the question that kind of came in was that this is one of my clients, her guides had been telling her that, a lot more hopeful information than really what the media is telling us in a sense. So maybe she just wondered wondering what we get on it. So we thought we would touch base on that. And I'm going to let Julie start because I know Julie has done some of her other videos that address some of that. And then I'll tag on to anything I'm receiving. So let's
Okay.
go.
So it's kind of we'll call it it feels like a big topic. It always feels like a big topic. What we're going to say is that we are in a place, we have turned the corner. Okay. And that's a really good thing. And that does feel really hopeful. We are not done. We will not be done and probably done as we think of oh, it's in the past till at least next year. Um, there are just things ahead. We talked about this last year about how this virus would morph, how it would mutate, and lo and behold, that's what it did. And it is not done. It is so tenacious. We it's almost like a battle of the wills. So while we have turned the corner and we have new tools in our toolbox now, or we are armed with tools and we are armed with um, we'll say weapons. We are not there. We are not done. We are in a oh, they just said eye of the hurricane.
Mm,
So it's sort of, oh, gave me the goosebumps.
yeah.
Sort of the quiet, the calm before another part of the storm passes through. And we need this. We need to feel like we've been good people and we've had enough and we're done. And we need to move on with our lives. And to a certain extent, that's exactly what we're all going to do. And we're going to have some roller coasters, highs and lows over these next probably 4 to 5 months. It feels like it's going to be we're going to say more good than bad, and at the same time there will be, oh, we did that too soon. Oh, we shouldn't have done that. Oh, don't take this for granted. Wear your mask, get your vaccine, whatever your belief is. And oh, by the way, we just we just want to laugh and say, do your research. This is not a typical vaccine. This is new technology, which again, we told you all about last year. We said there is going to be lots of new novel approaches in the world of health and medicine. And this is one of them. It is really, truly fascinating. So do your research. It has some impact. I mean, I had my own little bout with some things. I'm feeling really good now. I'm like 95% back. Thank you, Tammy. So, so much happier to just walk through a couple of weeks of ick and not worry about going to the ER or dying. So that's another story. So you're going to see little spikes and leveling off, little spikes and leveling off as we sort of make adjustments over this next, they're saying about 4 months. Okay. Then we're going to come back into fall. I, I, I I can't count, so I'm just going with what they say. And as we head back into fall, we will it's typical. It's just the typical beginning of flu virus cold season, right? And so right around September, you may start to notice a little bit of, what's going on? It might not even be so much in the US as we see it happening globally again. And so it's pay attention. We tend to go, oh, I don't need to wear my mask. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. And yeah, you do. So, and then that's going to escalate again. They're telling me right around November. And it's going to kind of level off. It will definitely not be the kind of wave that we've had in the past. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. Okay. Not really bad, not good, just somewhere in the middle, but definitely a spike up that is consistent with flu season. It's just
Yeah.
the way it is, because that's what viruses do. It's what the flu is. That's what COVID is. That's what blah blah blah. So um so we are not done. And again, this virus truly is going to stay with us. We feel like even it's like it's so interesting what they show me. It's like it's pushing out in this direction. No, that's not working. Okay, we're going to go in this direction. Maybe. So it's going to continue to try and find this. It's smart. It's smarter than so many things that we've ever come in contact with in the past. And it is just not done with us. It's just not done. So, but we need a respite, and we're going to have that. We'll see little highs and lows,
Yeah.
and then another spike towards the really a significant probably spike towards the end of the year, and then we may even be in for a booster of our virus vaccination of the vaccination. Not quite sure where that's at yet. There's going to be a lot of research around that to come. It's like they said, it's mind blowing for you as humans what is ahead with these new technologies. Just mind blowing for you. So, but the worst, truly, the worst has passed. Not
Yeah.
always an easy thing to say, considering we've lost well over 500,000
Yeah.
people. It's mm, yeah, it's
You're
hard.
right.
It's hard.
Yeah. Thank you, Julie.
Okay, yeah.
That was great. That was really good information from you and your guides. So thank you for that. I was just going to tag on with anything I get to. And first thing, they were showing me is just how the human beings are like, they showed me like a bunch of children in maybe a classroom staring out the window, and it's storming. And then that first break in the storm, we're all wanting to run out and, woohoo, play, and, which is understandable. But they're saying we're learning a different way now, aren't we? And tenacious is a great word for this virus, Julie. Absolutely. That, it's something that's not necessarily going to be gone so quickly. And they're showing me that that we are, well, kind of obvious, here on the earth plane right now, going through this is not coincidental for all of us. We are part of this new experience, this new experimentation in a sense, I guess. And so they said, back to kind of the metaphor of the children, if that's the right word to use, that, we can go out and play, but then it's like, oh, here comes this other storm. And then, but, I see the children, but that's not fair. But we thought, this, and they're kind of, our guides are almost kind of making light of it, and they don't mean to make fun of us, but they're making light of it, that maybe if we can kind of see it in a different way and understand that actually we're going to be working around this new virus. We're going to need to learn to work with it, around it, and yes, find new ways to give to ourselves. Some of the old ways, of course, too. But I just mean, there's going to have to be some level of acceptance for us to cope with this.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not easy for any of us. All of us have had some emotional up and down with it, and of course, yeah, varying to people who have lost loved ones and so forth. And so I'm going to go back into just channeling with them a little bit of maybe anything of what's to come, more of the same for a while. We're going to see it kind of, yeah, they're kind of going like this, like times that we're thinking, oh, we're getting a handle on this, and then maybe something spikes somewhere else in some other part of the country, like you mentioned, Julie. And I think Italy right now, I just read something, is again having
Yep.
a lot of cases or something. Yeah. So hang on. They said hang on, because we are in a bit of a, going for a ride with this. It will continue, but there will be those, like you mentioned, there's going to be times that we're feeling a little better about it, and we can, we get those breathing. That's also being given to us, by the way. So that we can mentally cope with it emotionally. Those times that, things seem to calm down a little bit, and we get a little bit of that green light to be able to go do some things and all. Because we are really needing that, and it's understood that if we didn't have that, things could look far worse emotionally, mentally, yeah, just all that mental illness, whatever, right? For people handling all this. So, yeah, we don't mean to paint a bleak picture, but it is really important to understand that we will learn more, obviously, as time goes on. It's a lot about, again, being part of this collective, to be part of the groups that are studying this. And so that's not always easy to be part of that group. There's where patience has to come in, and and really, how do we want to put it, guys? They're giving it more to me in a different way, but it's like how we're going to really need to understand how we're going to have to work with this, and find the ways that we work with this that balance everything for us, the emotional well-being, and taking care of ourselves, and protecting other people, and protecting ourselves. So very important. um
Such an opportunity. There are many
yeah,
opportunities here as well. It's not just
I
bleak.
agree.
There's a lot of opportunity to expand your brain.
Yes.
It
Yeah, create new ways, create new thinking, which has already been happening, right? With people who've been home, and we hear a lot about that. So it's going to be a lot of that. I understand it's hard, and they show me this is, we're against that brick wall, and as human beings, it's a little difficult because we want to be those children that go out and play. Um, so if I'm going to go just a little further with that analogy, that if the kids are then seeing the other storm coming, then I see them grouped together. What they're showing me is they group together, they huddle together in a collective to decide what the next step is. But the key word is they huddle together, and they do this collectively to decide what is our next step. This, this is what they're saying right now, is what we're learning about, of how to come together more so than we've ever had to do before, is what I'm hearing, and really find new solutions. And I'm just going to kind of end it with that. That's what we're getting for that. So
on so many levels,
mhm.
Tammy. So thank you thank you and your guides for filling that in. Um,
Yeah, just
yeah,
love yourself through it, guys. Right now, you do need to do things that are healthy for you to keep yourself motivated, and we'll see what we create ahead. Right? We'll
and
see what we create ahead. But I think unity is super important. I was getting that from the beginning too. Like,
yeah,
we were talking about things from the beginning. That's a lot what I was getting, is unity, and really needing to band together, and have a better chance at having a more same like-mindedness, which I know is a tall order here on the planet, but you know,
they said to me, "Stay in your heart." Um, it, yeah, just stay in your heart. I don't know what I was watching yesterday or that, and I just wanted to start crying and say, and I was just thinking out loud, saying, "Why is there so much hate? Why is this? Stop! We need to stop hating. We need to stop irritating and aggravating and boosting hate, and come back in our own heart and start from love, and it will shift. It will. We have a good change in management for the country, and um it a year from now things will look really truly very different than they do today.
mhm.
So a year ago they looked what, today they look what, and next year it'll be like, oh, wow,
Yeah, yeah,
what way we made it through,
right,
the
right.
at this month it's very interesting, these 12-month increments for you as humans. So um yeah, just be with that, love
Yeah,
yourself, and come from a place of problem solving instead of problem creation,
mhm,
and hate, come from love.
yeah,
And
yeah.
just take a look at your own stuff around that. It's I certainly have my own stuff around that too. So
Right. This is a time to really focus on our intentions of healing and prayer for other people. Obviously for ourselves. Okay, to ask for ourselves, but really, this is a time that we're all needing that. So your vibration and your healing makes a difference. Even when you just think, I'm going to do it in faith, which is great because that's the whole idea. Do it in faith, and you put it out there. But they're really letting us know it does make a difference. It will touch the souls that need and are allowing themselves to open up to it, to receive it. And much good can come from spending time in meditation, in prayer, however you'd like to say it, and really focusing your intention on healing of the planet, of other people, of yourself. Yeah.
We just want to say one last thing, which is what they gave me a few weeks ago, and they're giving to me again, which is prosperity is ahead.
Mhm.
Now, prosperity can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. Um, we know that the checks are in the mail. There's a lot of people who are really struggling.
Mhm.
So some of that will come from the government, some of it will come from us reopening bits and pieces, and we are really, as a culture, they're saying, being reborn, and just anew. Everything is,
Yeah.
this is a fresh start.
Mhm.
It's spring, we have a lot of fresh starts ahead. So there is hope. Yeah, there'll be some cloudy, dark, stormy days. Yes.
Mhm.
But will be more sunshiny days ahead as well.
Yeah.
Nice metaphor. Thank you. So great metaphor that they gave us. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
thank
So
you. Okay.
where do we want to go from here? I was getting earlier because we were talking about the whole St. Patrick's Day thing and everything, right? And they were kind of just touching on a little bit of, embrace embrace who you are. Kind of obvious, but no matter where you come from in this particular lifetime, no matter who you may be and your ethnic background and all of the things that make you you, celebrate who you are. And you've they're just saying right now, obviously you've lived many lifetimes, you've walked in many shoes, you've not always been an Ireland fan. There's been other lifetimes certainly I've had, and many of us have had, yeah. But really truly you are in the moment, in the lifetime that you are for a purpose, to experience that. So love every bit of it. Love where you come from, and always, certainly, like I said, ethnic backgrounds and all of that. There is much to be learned in each lifetime and each body, and embrace it. So they were just touching on that again too, just kind of wanting to give a reminder on that, of how important it is to accept who you are, even if it looks like, gosh, I wish I hadn't been born with, this. But really, you chose to. You
Exactly.
chose to. And because you knew there would be a great lesson in it and a great experience in it. So why not love it, right? Why not love yourself through it? So be proud of who you are,
I
is
love
what
that.
I
Thank
would
you
have to
so
say, and our guides would have to say with that.
just, I just never tire of hearing that, and it never can be spoken too much. And so this is why we are given it and repeat it so often.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I ever told you my my version of my Irish story, or how I feel so connected. I mean, I feel connected in many ways, but when I was a kid, did I ever tell you about my dress up? When
I
I
don't
was
think so.
Well, when I was a kid, and even if I repeat it, maybe there's new
Oh, no,
people
do
listening.
tell. I want to hear. I don't think you told me
Um,
that.
I did not dress up as, I mean, I probably dressed up as a princess too, but played dress up. I must have been, 6, 7, 8, something, just young. What age, whatever age you play dress up as a nun.
Oh, yeah, I think you did tell me this. I love this.
And
No, but do
I
share. I love it.
and I
Yeah.
was born into a not practicing, but a Jewish family by heritage, okay, in this lifetime.
Mhm.
So I never shared that with my parents. I mean, that was my private world of make believe, right? But I clearly got so strongly those impressions from whatever that life, it was multiple lifetimes. I think it was multiple lifetimes as a nun. Um, that impression from that lifetime of being a nun, that I wanted to connect to that energy so badly again, that I would constantly play dress up as a nun. Now, not having any religious background or training that came through, or in this lifetime, I didn't really know what that meant. But and I didn't have any, rosary or anything like that, because my parents probably would have killed me. But but they were atheists anyway. Um, so I just knew that I felt so connected to that life in some way that I needed to express it and dressed up as a nun whenever I play dress up in my little bedroom all by myself. So
I love that. I love that because that's clearly, I mean, clearly touching on a past lifetime. Because really, we would say to somebody, if somebody told me, I'd say, okay, did you watch a lot of movies that had nuns in them and you thought, oh, I'd like to be a nun? If you rule that out, then generally it's because you're touching on some kind of lifetime that you had. And you know what? I think I looked at that briefly for you. That's coming back to me. I don't remember if you remember this, but I remember getting you as, yes, you had been a nun, at least in one,
yes, yes.
lifetime, and you were giggly, and you were like, you were a funny nun. Because I saw you with others grouped together, and you had a really good sense of humor, and as you do now, which is not coincidental sometimes too. You bring personality through. But I remember that. I
Yes.
myself I've had when I was in, we can call it the deja vu thing, sort of. Well, it started out with that, but then I was able to check in on it. But in Italy, we were walking through a market, and I remember walking through this market, and I turned a corner, and I was like, "Oh, I've so been here before, so been here before." Which could have, as put together, could have been because it was an area where I'm sure a lot of markets have happened forever. And then I saw myself as a young boy, and my parents sold wares, and so I'd walk around. I would just walk around, but I saw dark hair, so I was kind of brown skinned or very tanned, maybe. And so that happened. And then another time, um, well, I was told that I had been beheaded by the temple of Zeus. And so, but when I was in Greece, it was kind of a package trip thing we did. But when I was in Greece, I remember being on a bus and just overwhelming. And this was in Athens, where I'm seeing graffiti all over the walls and all of that. It's a beautiful city, but it's also got a lot of graffiti and stuff, right? So I'm looking out, and I got this, oh, tears came up, everything. I was home. Oh, I was home. And I found it interesting what I was looking at and what was coming over me, right?
Wow.
But yeah, the beheading was as a monk. I was some sort of monk, and I had started to have a following of some sort, a spiritual following. And it wasn't a lot. I remember that. It wasn't a huge group, but there was a following. And as a result, word got out. They didn't quite like what I was doing.
Yeah, no kidding.
And so, yeah, what'd you say, Julie?
No kidding.
Yeah, yeah, right. Exactly. So, yeah. Anyway, but so I just blessed myself when I was there because I was by the temple of Zeus, and I just kind of wherever, just sent some good love and the energy there. And
It's so interesting that you bring that up because as you were talking, they said to me, well, first of all, you and I have actually had many lifetimes together.
I'm sure we were going to check on that. We have to do that.
And yeah, we'll have to sit down and really play with that. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of lifetimes together.
Ah, it's
And
awesome.
one of them was back in whether it was there were civilizations before this one, as some of us will know. I mean, the earth is 5 billion years old. It has come and gone and transformed in so many ways. And we were together in one of those.
Awesome.
So whether it was, Lemuria or whatever label we give to it as humans, that was definitely one of our firsts together.
That's
So
great. Well, yeah, we'll definitely have to discuss that. And then we can share with everybody if you're interested in hearing.
very fun, very fun. That was a very rich lifetime for us. Not rich monetarily, but rich
Uh-huh.
emotionally and spiritually and mentally. And we're going to do some work on that and get back to you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we will. Because it's fascinating to think that, we've had so many lifetimes. And what I think is interesting is when you meet up with somebody in a lifetime and then you have this partnership, you think I know timing is everything and there's rhyme and reason to it, right? But it is interesting to think, why didn't we see each other sooner and do this? Why now? You
Right.
know, it's just interesting, right? And but yeah, there's reasons for it. So
So many.
yeah.
Everything is on that divine path. So I want to leave. Not that we need to end. I don't have any real cattails to tell, but leaving you with that. thought for the day of everything is on that divine path.
Mhm.
And it's so interesting. I hear this in a lot of readings that whether you take the path to the left or you take the path to the right or you go down the center or you go up or down, wherever it is, you're still on your divine path and it will still get you where you agreed to go.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because when you go off on some of those sides, like you're saying, right, you have an experience, don't you?
Yep.
You know, that you sometimes think, wow, if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have met this person or I wouldn't have had that experience. So absolutely. It's really everything has opportunity for it in it, any direction you go.
So, speaking of directions, that was a terrible segue, but
Let's go with it.
the direction we're going in is to Saturday.
Yes, yes.
We have a phenomenal, oh my gosh, phenomenal event coming up on this Saturday, which I always think we have phenomenal events coming up,
Yeah.
even if I can't always make them all. Um, and it's about, oh geez, Tammy, what was the
Kind of
name of it? It's
equinox, right? Regenerations, we'll say like, spring is coming, right? So it's kind of that cleansing and in that sort of thing. We're going to be kind of, I think for myself, I'll be just touching on kind of affirmations, validations, affirmations, intention, setting intention and affirmations. That's my piece that I'm just going to kind of chat about. And Julie's got her thing that you're going to chat about, or maybe you don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna talk about sort of the mental hooks for us and how we get stuck in those places mentally, and how we can clear those. And I'm gonna walk you through a little visualization
Great.
to really show you the power of what um, the power that you give things that you don't need to. And anyway, there'll be, and there's just a plethora of great tips and exercises in, um, we're saying 60 minutes, but I think it's going to go a little bit over. So plan
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
now, plan for 90 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So it's,
Yeah.
as always, it's on our Higher Healing page, Facebook page. And so please go there, find that, and join us. Lots of amazing, amazing. We just are in an amazing group of healers and intuitives, and
Yeah, we feel very fortunate to be a part of this, and we really have a good time with each other, and we hope that comes across for you all. So yeah, we definitely invite you this Saturday. It's this was at 12 o'clock, right? Is it 12
yes,
noon?
yes.
12 noon Pacific time.
Um,
So yeah, and higher, yeah, like she said, Higher Healing Facebook, HIRE. Just a reminder of that if you're looking it up. So yeah, we'll each do a little just kind of thing about it: emotional clearing, space clearing, what Julie talked about, what I talked about, intentions, and
Yep.
um, Bobby will talk something about biofield tuning or something along those lines. So anyway, we all will be having our input. So we hope that you can join us.
Yes, it will be.
Love to have you.
It's big. It's just they're always so full. So, and then
Yeah.
I think, you know, I think it's not until next month that we have our deeper dive into the different layers of automatic writing and intuition and working in the akasha and all kinds of stuff. And I actually have a class that I'm teaching April 2nd, 3rd, 9th, and 10th, for Akashic reader training. So, so how you can find that is at my website, juliehawkins.com. And always, as always, book a session there. And Tammy, how can they find you?
They can find me at tammysintuitive.com. And so, if you're interested in booking a session, probably best just to go through the contact page on my website, or you can email me at psychicmom@sbcglobal.net. And I just put out another channeled message, so you can find those on Tammy's Intuitive Services Facebook and Instagram pages. They're on my website as well, but better to go to the social media ones. You get the picture and everything with it. Makes it more fun.
Cool.
So
So good.
that's how you can find both of us. And yeah, so I just want to say again, whoops, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm trying to hold it, but it's not working. There we go.
I have yet to figure out those whole virtual background
You know,
things.
I'm always the opposite of what, like, it, yeah.
I had
Anyway,
such a debacle. I ordered a green screen. On a funny note, I ordered a green screen.
yeah,
First
yeah.
of all, to just let me just say thanks for allowing us into your world for a little bit of time. And so I ordered this green screen, which if you have sunshades in your car, you know how they kind of you twist them and they fold up. This was a version of that. It was humongous. I didn't realize how big it was. And no matter where I positioned it behind me, I had stuff going on. And when I turned on this to see if I could get, a virtual background, all I had was the green screen behind me.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, this is not working. I don't know how I managed to stuff it back in the box and send it back, but I did, and I just
Wow,
can't.
good for you, because that's not easy to fold up things like that, come like that into
Oh
it. I
no,
remember kids' things that I had, like little tents and stuff, like hand it off to my husband. Do
and
this.
it was very it wasn't just wire, it was like really thick gauge.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, so this is what I live with, and every once in a while I will do something like this just to I'll close with this because I had this picture up earlier today. This was my own picture.
I love that. I use a lot of my own too. That's beautiful. That's a really pretty. Where's that at? That's in Hawaii.
Hawaii. It's
Of course, right? It's
my daughter
beautiful.
lives in Hawaii, and
Yeah,
I've been there.
that's gorgeous.
Can't go wrong, right?
Beautiful, beautiful.
So thank you all very much. We love you. We love
Yes,
your questions. Thank you so much for sending them in. And until next time, happy St. Patrick's Day. I cannot do an
yes.
Irish
Happy
accent.
St. Patrick's Day, Erin go bra. Yay!
What does that mean exactly?
Ireland forever,
Oh,
or
thank
something
you.
about that. Yeah.
And we will see you next time.
Okay. See
All
you
right.
then.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone.